Hail, hail, welcome to the HomeBhoys Live podcast. It is Thursday, the 5th of March. I'm, of course, Joe McKenna. We are back, and we have not been on since, I think, the 18th of February. We are getting worse at this consistency podcast gigging thing after 15, 16 years of doing it. I'm joined by most of the Murderers Row. A man has just joined there called Toddler's Triumph. Marty Flynn. Toddler's Triumph. His glasses need to go back. Fuck's sake, me. Yeah. Toddler's Triumph. How you keeping? You good?
All right, mate. All good.
You came in under the wire there. Good man. Also joined by Liam Brummy Boy.
Hello, Joseph. How are you?
I'm good. I said to you before the show, I hadn't had a drink in about 5 days, and I had a glass of wine, and now I feel like Dudley Moore and Arthur. Yeah, I know. Also joined by a man who's got a lot to talk about and a lot we want to ask him, Mr. Jason Higgins.
Hail.
Hail, brother. How you keeping?
Good, mate. I'm good.
We are expecting a cameo at some point from Scott McCrory. He's living on the border of chaos and order right now, and is in the group chat, definitely. And we will hopefully get talking to him, some sort of update at some point later. But we want to start this show on the most positive and emotional note, I think, that happened over the weekend. It's the Tommy Gemmell statue unveiling in Craigneuk. We could all kind of chip in on this as you go along, Jason, but I suppose to set it up, I've watched and looked and sent on more photographs and videos and pieces and links to articles and links to quotes and things people said in interviews. And my favorite is definitely the Celtic Exchange video that was put up on the Tommy Gemmell Facebook page. That was incredible. I think listening to Tommy's brother talking was incredibly emotional. And my favorite part, the thing that I looked at the most, was your big smiling face behind Martin O'Neill in that picture with the statue. And we're going to the statue in a second because it's an incredible feat. But your face, I've seen Jason Higgins 4 or 5 get a Steve happy. I've never seen that Jason Higgins happy. So I want to kind of set it up there and give you kind of aside from the garden statues, how else was it?
It was just incredible. Probably definitely one of the best days of my life. It was just a culmination of, to be fair to Big Martin McCrum, that was 8 years in the making, right? I got in town with him 5 years ago. I've known him all my life, but it was about 5 years ago, and it was during lockdown, and I was out for a pint one afternoon. We were blathering about it, and I'm saying, I wonder what's happening to that statue, because always you'd heard in the grapevine, Big Martin's getting the Tommy Gemmell statue without actually realising everything that's involved in it. And so I phoned him, and he was in San Francisco. And I says, all right, Martin, how's it going, Jason? Well, I says, what's happened with the Tommy Gemmell statue? He's like, to be honest, he made nothing. He says, it's just lost traction with lockdown, and it's me, myself, and he says, there's nothing happening. I says, right, I'll get involved in it. Let's get a committee together. He'd already been talking to Pat Campbell, one of my good pals. Pat get involved. Big Darren, Anne Francis, Martin Gunn and Caitlin Ferris, and then later on Nicky Regan and Mary Gemmell got involved as well. And just fucking unbelievable. Just 5 year half graft. Like, you've no idea the shit we went through. And I didn't get through half of the shit that Martin did. To be fair to Martin, he did all the admin side of it. See, dealing with councils, dealing with the sculptor, dealing with fucking permits, dealing with this, dealing with that. Unbelievable the hoops you need to jump through. It's an absolute fucking minefield. But it all came to fruition on Saturday, and it was just the best day ever. It was just unbelievable. And then the blessed Martin turning up as well. We knew a couple of days before that it was coming, Poor Jim Craig, there was a bad car crash. He didn't arrive till an hour after the statue had been unveiled. But what a reception to go when they come into the chapel hall. But unbelievable. The crowd there, just everything. And then just the statue itself. Fucking what a statue, man. No disrespect to any other statue, including everyone outside Selleck Park, but it puts everyone into shame. Fucking unbelievable. And just a wee kind of side note, I actually said it on the huddle board, but the first time I'd ever spoke to the sculptor, Andy Edwards, I'm actually not sure where I think he's maybe for Stoke or something like that. He's for Northern England anyway. And just after the unveiling, we're all standing milling about, folk are getting photos. I says, Andy, you got a minute? He says, aye, no bother. I says, ask you a question. I says, you don't need to answer it. I says, I've been involved in this 5 years. You've been involved. Big Martin's been involved in 8 years. So 8 years ago, you gave Martin a quote of 60,000 quid. I says, everything in the world has went up in price in that 8-year period. Materials, labour, everything. I says, there's nothing cheaper or nothing the same price than it was 8 years ago on this earth. And I says, why did you not put the price up? He says, great question. He says, my honest answer is, he says, I need to know what I'm going to get involved in. He says, I need to live and breathe it and I need to read up on it. So he says, see, when I read the story of Tommy and I read the story of the Lisbon Lions, he says, I would have paid you to sculpt it. He says, does that answer your question? I says, fucking hell, he's a cuddle, mate. Just gave him a big cuddle. Just, guy's a legend. And Tommy's statue isn't even for any photo. It's just off of Andy's head. And what Andy's seen on videos and everything that he's watched. And then when Tommy's daughter Karen went down to the foundry, he had it nearly finished, but he started making changes to his face and everything because of the facial expressions of Karen, and she's very similar to Tommy. Just unbelievable. And aye, what a day, what a day. Can't thank everybody enough for all the organisation as well and how the day went off, just brilliantly. And the Berry Hill, the school choir, and Piper, piping us in and all that, and just everything about it. It was just absolutely amazing. Then the weather, the rain went off and all that. It was just fantastic. So, aye, just very, very emotional and just amazing. And that's what Celtic's all about to me. And the less said about him, the better. You know, the contacts is a week before it and then starts videoing it, sending fucking a couple of reps for the club and stuff like that. Still never got a shot on nothing. Chris Boyd gave us more than Celtic. There you go.
It warms the soul to hear that, Jason. It really does. Like, because I mean, watching it on video and seeing, like, I don't know who took the drone footage.
It was Rab McCready, my mate Rab McCready.
Brilliant.
Legend.
I mean, brilliant. And again,
I've got all the photos here. I've got all the photos for the drone. I'll send you them all. They're unbelievable. And the first one's at 6 in the morning with me and Toffee down at the statue.
Somebody texted me last week. Actually, Marty contacts me. Says, "Listen to the show." He goes, "Is your mate garden statues now?" And I was like, "Yes."
My kids can actually say my dad got statues.
No, it was just, you know what? Again, you don't know what to expect when you see a statue. And again, statues like they're always celebratory because at the end of the day, like, you don't get a statue for nothing. But see, there was one particular picture. I don't know who caught it, but I seen it on Twitter or Facebook or something out there. And I took it in the craft and I put a tint on it, and it's Tommy, and it's got like this, like the houses, the old school houses of Craig Nuke in the background. Yeah. And it's just a perfect framing of them, right? And then you just get to see every detail of the statue, and you're like, that is an absolute work of art. That is an absolute fucking work of art. Like, it's just like it's incredible. Like, it truly is incredible. I was astounded at how much it looked like him, how realistic it was, and just there was from what people said in loads of those interviews and videos about Tommy, is that Tommy was a very hardworking, proud, and humble man, right? And see the kind of tone of that statue. It has, it has a warrior feel, but it also has a humble look about the way that he stands and the way that his face is and the way that his head is, and there's just something about it. I was keep looking at it, going like, that's incredible. It's absolutely fucking incredible.
Aye, just like, and you're on about Tino doing the Celtic Exchange video. Brilliant. What about the interview with his brother David?
I was watching. I was in the back garden earlier on doing stuff, and I had it on my phone, and I was fucking weeping, man, weeping.
Do you know the funny thing, right? See, with Mary, and we were mindful, right? Because Mary was part of the committee. She was part of us, right? She's just amazing. Like, the energy of that woman and everything that she did, and she kept us on the straight and narrow, and like, fucking gave his G's up when we needed it and kicked her arse. And she's just brilliant. But it was the first I'd met her, Tommy's daughter Karen. She came up, and there's a story there as well, right? So Karen lives just outside Barnsley. And I'm like, because her husband, I'm like, where's the accent? He says, oh, Yorkshire, just outside Barnsley. I says, you're fucking kidding me on. I says, you ever been in Annie Murray's? I'm like, aye. I'm like, the owners of Annie Murray's are coming here today. They're like, shut up. I said, I'm telling you. So Paul and the Baxter stroll in. I'm like, Paul, come here. Fucking. And she says, I love that 80s bar next to it. She says, aye, we own that as well. And they says, oh, the country and wet, aye, we own that and all. I said to her, I says, Karen, you'll not need to buy a drink in Barnsley again. She's like, oh my God almighty. So, but the thing was, see before it, right, Karen says, you've no idea how nervous I am. She says, do you know what it is? I've got a fear that it's going to be like my dad's funeral again. Do you know? And it's, see, when there's a personal touch like that, you don't realise what it means to the family members. You know, we're there celebrating Tommy's life, and they are as well, but it's got a far more personal touch to the actual family. You know, when you seen it with Davey's interview, and me and Davey went for a, see, after the event had finished, me and Davey and Davey's missus went for a pint in there, a bar. I took him down for a few beers, and a good blether with him. Well, Davey was pally with my dad. And he said to me, he's like, he did say it in the video as well. He says, I've been out of Craigneuk 15 years. He says, but Craigneuk never leaves you. He says, I'm always a Craigneuk man. But it was interesting walking down, right? Davey's a Rangers supporter. Tommy was a Motherwell fan, right? And Davey's a Rangers fan. And I said to him, tell me, Davey, I says, be honest. I says, what did you do when Tommy played for Celtic? He says, I supported my brother 100%. He says, as soon as he pulled that green and white jersey on, he says, I supported him and his team 100%. I was like, that's mental. I says, I couldn't do that. Do you know? But he says, aye. He says, aye, I supported my brother 100%. And he says, I couldn't be more prouder. And he was cuddling me and all that. He says, I can't thank you enough for what you've done for us and our family. Just things like that, you're just totally blown away. Do you know what I mean? Aye, very, very emotional. And aye, there was a few tears shed. But aye, what a day. It was fucking brilliant. Just outstanding.
Yeah, I don't think that there's any level of praise that could be. There's no. I don't think there's any words could convey the level of praise that everybody has for you, Jason, and what you've achieved. Like, I mean, it's fucking. We can sit here to the cows and home and say, that's great, that's great. But I don't think it really carries the weight.
But the thing is, Joe, the committee was the driving force behind it, but it was the people of Craigneuk.
Yeah.
You know,
but here's the thing, Jason. Somebody's got to pull that together. Somebody's got to light that fire and keep that fire going. Like you said, I mean, you know, Tommy's wife is, fucking, somebody's got to inflate the balloon. It doesn't do it itself.
Oh, no, totally. And it's like, I mean, Govan Emeralds they're starting today. The Jim Craig, they're trying to get one for Jim Craig, and we'll be there to help them, you know, and whatever. And anybody that wants to do any of these, because we should have statues for 11 Lisbon Live or 12. We should have statues for every single one of them. But I'll tell you what, all in that cost us well over 100 grand, right, with everything, right? I would say if you're doing it now, you could be looking at 200 grand probably. You know, the price of them. But I would strongly suggest to anybody that's even thinking about it, go on the phone to Andy Edwards straight away. Do you know what I mean?
Can I ask, how did you find him?
Right, I asked Martin this. So he says there was 3 sculptors that recommended to him. So he did his homework. But he says it was by chance to get Andy out the 3. He says the first one he had a blether with him, and he says didn't fancy it. The second one he was a wee bit late in coming back. But he says then when he spoke to Andy, he says he just got it. And he says, I knew he was the man. So fair play to Big Martin, you know. Just how he got him. But totally lucky.
It's fucking sliding doors. Amazing.
Aye.
Amazing. You want to come in on this? Because I'm just...
Yeah, I'm happy to give a non-committee view.
You should get another eyewitness account from Liam. Would be better. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm happy to share my thoughts. I mean, I was kind of planning to go and make a full day of it, but never kind of worked out that way. So I ended up driving and taking Zoe, which worked out really well. We got down there, and just I think the first overriding feeling is it's been such a shit season. It's been such a shit storm of a season with everything going on. It was so nice to be around proper Celtic people doing proper Celtic stuff and doing things that mean what Celtic means to us all. That was the biggest overriding feeling of being there. Such a nice break from everything that's been going on in the background. But we just drove down, parked up by the King Lud, walked up, could see the kind of buzz about the place. This was about 1:30. And we just kind of hung around outside the church hall, Jason, where I'm assuming that you were in at that time. And we just kind of waited there rather than just stand up there too early. Ray Aitken came past Tom Boyd, got a wee photo for Zoe. That was really cool. And then we just walked up about 20-2 to kind of get a spot up there. And I couldn't remember which way the statue was going to be facing. I think you maybe mentioned it on here, Jason, but I couldn't remember. So we just pitched up kind of the train station side of it, if you like, and hope for the best, which worked out really well for us. But yeah, it got busy really quickly. Again, the second overriding thing was it was just working class people, local working class people in the main. You could just see the pride in everybody, you know, just people just turning up as they are, pride around everybody, and just had a massive community feel to the whole thing. Like you said, Celtic turning up, you know, the first face I saw was Tony Hamilton, which kind of a bit disappointing. You know, you don't really want those people around, but that's not to spoil the day. And, you know, it was tremendous when you saw Martin turn up as well. So we were just buzzing with it. We just watched the whole thing. It's hard to see because obviously once it kicked off, everyone's got the phones in the air, as is the modern way. So I thought, I'll watch it. Fucking have to watch it later. But just a great place. I thought the speeches were really good. The guy, is he the Lord Provost or whatever he's called? I thought he was yeah. He was really good. Martin, obviously, the passion out of him was just, you know, was there for all to see. It was really good all year. All the committee was there. Kind of got some brilliant pictures.
Caitlin was away, and that was the only downer. Because Caitlin was away in a hen weekend.
Right. I thought it was all of you there.
Right.
Got you. And obviously, I knew a lot of the faces there from being on some of the buses with you, some of the local buses as well. So it was just really nice for me just to take a back seat and just stand and watch and kind of get a buzz out of everybody else, sort of thing. And everybody else was enjoying it, but it's just a massive credit to everybody involved. It seems to really reflect the person that the statue is for, the area that it's representing. I'm really glad it's going to be an ongoing charitable thing that will be there to support anybody, irrespective of, you know, team, background, whatever, which is the right way to do things. So just a massive pat on the back to everyone. And as you said, the statue itself was breathtaking in terms of the quality and just everything about it. So massive kudos to everybody involved. And I'm looking forward to going back up actually when it's empty and having a proper look. I didn't even get in afterwards to have a look. I thought I'd do it another time. And I suppose the most important thing is there's another statue to add on to the Sean Kelly statue tourney, so we can drag it out a bit longer for next time. Next time it kicks off. And I'll make it. But no, I was super proud of you, super proud of everyone involved. And like I said, I just got a buzz off everybody else's buzz there, and just watching everybody. And it looked like it was going to be a tremendous day. So as good as it was to leave, it was just great seeing, you know, so many people that are important, just so happy and kind of having all the recognition they deserved for a superb effort. So yeah, tremendous.
That was great to see you in the Z Bob there, mate. Fucking class.
Oh, she was in, mate. She was loving it.
just amazing, man.
Marty.
Just fucking great, isn't it, Jesus? It's just like, I mean, not just the statue, but the entire work that went into this, you know, securing the land. We had all this. The listeners don't know this, but Jason was kind of keeping us up to date with the fucking ups and downs and travails of all the work that went into it, you know. But to see, like, Jason sent us some photographs or some short videos the day before of the polishing of the plaques and getting the whole thing ready. The amount of effort, I mean, the amount of effort it takes to run a do or a, you know what I mean, or a raffle or something like that. But they actually produce something so incredible and so long lasting. Do you know what I mean? If you run a do, the do's over, or if you win a ballot, it's great at the time. But in 100 years' time, that statue's going to stand, and everybody in Craignook is going to remember who Tommy Gemmell was. Like it's a stunning thing to do. And I said it on this podcast a few weeks ago. We must have the most statues of any club. You know, with Billy McNeil, with Brother Walford, with Jack, with Jenky, with the second Billy McNeil one out at Bells Hill. We've got the other Jenky one too out at Few Park. We'll have the Bobby Lennox statue. We've got the Bertie Peacock statue. We've got the Willie Mealy statue in Newry. Like, it's an incredible testament again to the way we honour those who went before us, and our determination to make sure that our history is celebrated and cherished, you know, and not just for us, but for generations of people to come who, you know, for whom Celtic will be an everlasting thing in their lives, you know. So it's just absolutely brilliant. And like, the homeboys were involved to a very small degree in terms of giving money and stuff like that. And it's such a pleasure, you know, to see the fruits of everybody's labour. So look, just brilliant, absolutely brilliant. You know, it's been a really shit year, you know, in terms of Celtic. It's been just abominable, like. But things like this really remind you what the club's about, who we are as people. And it's just a big bull of buskal there to everybody who was involved. It's wonderful, you know, really, really wonderful.
Cheers, Marty. Cheers, everybody. No, well appreciated. And the amount of texts I've had, you know, see like in the last few days, and like people that's been to the statue and like first have seen it, and you know, just unbelievable. You know what it's done to everybody. You know, just the buzz everybody's getting at it. It's tremendous. It's hard to put any words, to be honest with you. And even a good listener to the show, Danny Blair, always puts into the raffles and everything. He sent a big long message as well. He'd just been to see the statue. He's like, that's fucking outstanding. He's like, what a job. He says, must have been 20 folk there, and we're getting texts all the time. He says, just went by the statue. He says, there's about 30 folk there now. You know, they're coming for everybody there. And I just hope it can bring a bit of life into Craignook as well, because Craignook's had a lot of tough times, you know, since the closure of the Ravens, Craig, and a lot of tough times. And just hope this is the turning point and Craignook's back on the map. You know, it was a great day for Craignook, for the Craignook people.
Do you ever have the concept of cathedral thinking, Jason?
On you go, Joe.
So cathedral thinking is the idea is like people didn't build cathedrals for themselves. I mean, they didn't build them going, I'm going to build cathedrals so I can go in there and pray. They built cathedrals because they knew in 50, 60, 70 or 80 years, other people would be able to enjoy them. And people would marvel at them and go, I'm glad that's there. And that's, to me, that's what you've done.
Oh,
societies grow great when men plant trees in whose shadow they will never sit.
That's way better than I fucking said.
There we go.
I'm 2 Coronas in.
We're on the road, folks. We're on the slick road. I'm on a Strongbow. He's in the Corona.
It's a Thursday.
Strap yourselves in. The knuckles are going to get weight. Let's go.
When the world's just falling apart in front of your eyes, there's just wee bits of glimmer of hope. So
you got to nurture the good. You got to nurture the positive. And I'm overjoyed at how well things have worked out for you all. I'm fucking delighted that you're on the show to talk to us about it. And yeah, fucking shine a light. That's what I say. And Tommy Gemmell, fucking scoring 2 European Cup finals. And even my wee lad was asking about him. He's going like, Tommy Gemmell scoring 2 European Cup finals. I'm like, aye. Not a lot of people do that, mate.
Many left backs have scored 2 European Cup finals.
Exactly. So, I mean, like, fucking, what are we now? We're nearly half an hour in, and I could talk about this all night, in fairness. But yeah, amazing,
just magical, and just delighted for everybody involved, and delighted for the people at Craignook. You know, they've got something cherish and something to just wonder at every day of their life, you know. And I'm never away from it now. Toffee, I can't even take him in the park now. He just fucking drags me and get into the park and he just looks through as if we're not going to see Tommy.
Toffee Gemmell.
Toffee Gemmell.
Right, let's move on to the football, folks, because that's where it's going. We haven't been on here since February the 18th. Since then, we've had Stuttgart beat 4-1 at Salley Park, beat 2-1 by Hibs. The best part of that weekend was made up of yourself, Jason, and Liam, and all the crew, and spending time with the wee lad in Glasgow. And then a win in Germany, 2-2 against the Monketonks in Ibrox, and then 2-1 last night against Aberdeen. My question to the panel is, where do you want to start this?
No Hibs anyway.
Not Hibs anyway. I'm glad. It was good to see you too, fuck's sake.
Aye. Let's talk about your day with young Joe. I'll talk about the weekend, mate. He's run down in the weekend, because I'll tell you one thing. The wee man has grown into a wee superstar. He's an absolute wee gent, so he is. He's a credit to yourself, mate. He's an absolute wee diamond, so he is.
He's
lovely wee kid.
He's taking a big stretch as well. He's a big lad now. I'm like, fuck's sake. As I said to Magoo, I said, 5 years time me not my bollocks. And Magoo goes, 5 years? 5 minutes? But no, fucking, here's my hang, right? I can't convince him to do a day trip. He wants to do a weekend, which is great because you get the hang out for the weekend, right? But like, fucking, you got to pepper the weekend with loads of stuff to do. So I was like, right, we'll make this one good. And so we went Friday to Sunday. And I kind of knew because of your European game that it might move to the Sunday. So we had a late Friday out on the Sunday night. And so within the Friday, get into the hotel early, have a breakfast. And then we always go-karting in Cambuslang, run by up where Scott lives, which is great crack. That team sport in Cambuslang is brilliant. We're out there go-karting back. He loves a pizza crunch now. He says he had one pizza crunch. He's fucking... He had pizza crunch for his breakfast on Sunday morning for the game. Right? Right? So did that. And then on Saturday we went to the Transport Museum, which I've never been to. In Partick, right? It was great. And then an 80s thing on, the DeLoreans and shit like that there, the Gremlins thing. It was brilliant, the Doctor Who stuff. Fucking class. It's free. Just walk in, it's free. So if you've got kids, folks, you go to Transport, get on the train, head to Partick. And
did you go to the School of Art next to it?
No, I didn't go to it because like we were kind of on a bit of a schedule. So I was like, all right, we'll move here.
We do that the next time. That's amazing.
100%. We did that, and then we took a speedboat up and down the Clyde, which is fucking brilliant. Like next to the Transport Museum.
The School of Art, Kelvin Grove Art Galleries. That's what I meant to say.
That's kind of what we'll do next. Like, so see that speedboat up and down the Clyde. A guy called Greg does it. It's right next to the Transport Museum. Like it's down the slip. It's like he puts you in like essentially what is like a rescue boat that he's readapted and stuff, and you sit on it, and it's dead safe, like, and you're padded up, and he speeds you about 40-50 miles an hour up the Clyde about as far as Jamaica Street, right? The bridge, under the bridges, and then turns you around, brings you back down, and then brings you all the way down, like as far as like where the old shipbuilding all used to be. And it's fucking class. You're just flying up and down the Clyde. It's about 20 minutes long, but it's brilliant crack. And then we end up in Top Golf over by Uliam in Rutherglen.
Yeah, it's nice.
It is. It's good, but they will take all your money.
Oof, and the rest.
all your money. They've got you in every corner. You can't fucking turn a foot without spending some cash in that place. And then just the next day meeting yourself, Jason and Mick and everybody, and just fucking watching the game. And I missed the goal Saturday scored. We also got like 2-1. And then we got delayed, got out of Glasgow about 3.5 hours, got into the house about 2:30 in the morning, had to go to work at 8. All right, so all in all, good weekend. Great to see everybody, though. It was great to see everybody.
So you're missing Chapman's out too?
Oh, we were in Chapman's, aye. That's right. I mean, you were in Chapman's, that's right.
It's nothing to be fucking proud of, like.
Old Chapman's.
Well, it's only place where there were like kids in because Liam was there. Liam was El Capitan, right? Fucking walking the door.
Liam's well cut. Liam's well cut along the long wall.
Young Joseph was handing some darts to play darts. They're red, white, and blue, and he wasn't best impressed.
Fucking blue and white dartboard. That's gonna go.
But I know, great weekend other than the result. But we'll move on from that. So nobody was in Germany, no? Was Scott in Germany?
No, some of the I don't think so. Some of the
No.
boys were. Some of the lads were, but I don't think Scott was there.
Right.
I'm just watching Spurs here. Spurs are getting tanked 3-1 at half time. On
They're getting done.
I hear the crowd are going fucking bananas in the in the stadium. It's great. It's a great watch.
Alex had a goal disallowed as well before Spurs scored.
Oh look, they're fucking streaming out of the fucking stadium.
Joe, you still in that Spurs group chat?
No, I got sick of that. After my Ange glorification, I got fucking sick of that. The fuck.
What the hell?
Fuck Spurs.
That's right.
Anyway, so where do we go?
So,
I suppose we just go to
Stuttgart,
Ibrox, do we?
I'd said it the week before regarding Stuttgart. Like, it wouldn't have surprised me if we had even though it's been a fucking shite season and all the shit that happened. I actually said it on the podcast the week before that I wouldn't have been surprised if we had got a result. And see, to be honest, if it hadn't have been for fucking the state of Peter Schmeichel, that wouldn't have been beyond the realms of fucking possibility, even in the home league. It was just diabolical mistakes that really antied us. And you saw last week, like, fair enough, like the goal came really early and then they kind of just sweated it out for the rest of the match. But we didn't play badly. Like, you weren't walking out ashamed. And for the fucking travelling troops in hoops, I was just over the moon for them. Totally delighted. First one in Germany in our history after such a shade season, and for to be travelling in those numbers, given the fucking state of this season too, it was great. Really, really good.
Wasn't it half? Good side and fucking hell. I mean, I was actually, didn't even watch the first half. I was driving up to pick all the Tommy Gemmell t-shirts up on the Thursday. So I was listening to the radio and by all accounts we should have went 2-0 up just after we scored the first. I got in for the second half and seen Tunecki's chance in 90 minutes. Fucking even if that had been in, he'd 5 minutes of him shitting himself, do you know what I mean? But aye, fair play. First time in 17 attempts in Germany to win. So and by the way, Martin O'Neill had never lost 3 games in a row as a Celtic manager in his life. And he was if we'd lost that, it was 3 in a row. So
as bittersweet as it might have been, it was really enjoyable to a degree. I mean, I feel like we're kind of jumping on lily pads of hope throughout the season, going like, that was good, that'll do, and then fucking like waiting for the massive drop off to come. But I enjoyed the game, I enjoyed the performance, and you know what, I there's something about Luke McCowan that I've always really loved, but am I starting to get a sense of unfulfilled potential out of Luke McCowan? I mean, are we getting 40% of what he's actually probably truly capable of doing?
Nah, I just think he's. I don't know.
Or is that his ceiling? Is that as far as it gets?
I think he's decent. I just think he's nearly decent, and I think he's crying his heart out and he's giving us everything, and it's all you can ask for. But we need better.
Aye.
In my mind.
Aye. Well,
if you're putting him up with the rest of that team, then he's not got much to get by to get in the team.
We're just in a bit of a shit cycle, aren't we? Where players come on, do really well in half an hour or half a game or whatever, and then you start on the next game and they're absolutely shite each time. Just seems to be the same cycle all the time.
My biggest concern is, right, do you know, like, some Celtic teams in the past would play like kind of more than the sum of their parts? I mean, there'd be players in there that maybe weren't the best players, but the way they played in the team collectively made that way more effective than, say, I get the feeling that there's a hodgepodge fucking collective progression of this team that just hasn't necessarily gelled or linked in my head. And you're essentially white knuckling most games, going like, this could go to fuck or it could go really well. to me, it hasn't necessarily got. People are talking in forums and chats going like, a nice 4-0 win or a 5-0 win would be great against Aberdeen. And I'm going like, I don't think this season has had. Have we had any of those? Have we had any of those moments? Any of those beliefs? Any of those matches where you're thinking like, this is going to turn into a fucking rout? I don't think that's ever happened this season.
No, but the thing is, see when you're talking about bringing in like potentially substandard players and them playing more of the sum of their parts, right? You go back to Martin Neal's first time, right? And you're talking about your Neil Lennon in there. You had Kenny Bulgarin, Petrov, Lambert. You know, you had a core team. You could bring in a Momo Silla. You could bring in a Didi Agarth. You're only looking for 2 or 3 players to play more than the sum of their parts. We're bringing in 9 guys and asking them to play more than the sum of their parts when there's no structure to the team. We've got Callum McGregor, right? You've got, and can I stop there? You've not really got anybody else.
Right.
You know, it's like you don't have a core team. We don't have, like, we played essentially, let's face it, Callum McGregor is the only player that plays every game. The rest get switched. Right, the keeper was playing every game, but now it's in Sinisalo, right? Everybody else in that team has been switched around about. Scales is probably pretty long standing, but even at that, we need better. But you look at it, Callum McGregor, is that potentially you could say Hatate and Maeda in the last couple of years have been playing all the time. But even they're in and out the team now as well. So you've actually got one player, and the other 10 are getting shoehorned in every now and then and getting shifted around about and moved around about. They don't have any other player in that team. And Callum McGregor's coming to the end of his tether. It's just a fucking shambles. We need 15 new players in the summer. And that's no kidding on. That team that started against Rangers on Sunday that cost £6 million. £6 million. That's how much we spent in the transfer market for the 11 starters on that part on Sunday. That's fucking scary.
And half of them had hardly played all season as well. You know, I mean, we had an opportunity in January to give O'Neill some backing to try and go on and win the league, and what an absolute fucking shit show we made of that again. Like, you know, but this boy we brought in, this winger that we were going to pay £4 million for, he played half a game against Dundee, and that's him done, gone, nowhere to be seen. Looking, you know, rotating these strikers around, 2 6-foot+ strikers who I don't think they'd win an aerial challenge against me. I was still playing with them.
See, to be honest with you, you'd be better off with Johnny Kenny and fucking Adam Eder than see this fucking division we've got now.
Eder definitely, Kenny less so, but
well, it wouldn't be any worse than fucking what we've got now.
But you want someone that's going to be better. That's the thing.
I know, but I'm saying, for all the rigmarole, it might have. When we beat them in the semi-final at Hampden, he looked as if he was coming on to the game, and he's got something in the locker, right? These ones we've got in now don't look as if they've got anything.
It's really, really frightening, man.
I mean, you're talking about fucking, we've jumped over, we've not even spoke about games or anything. But you're talking about Ibrox, you need to play Maeda up front just for the chaos factor. He's not going to score. He's not going to fucking, but he's going to fucking run them ragged, right? And then hope that it'll create space for somebody else. You're playing a guy there that all he is a runner.
But the problem, I don't disagree with you, Jason. He's probably the best option there, right, for the chaos. But what you saw last night, and apologies for jumping around games, but when they tried to press us man for man in the second half, which loads of teams have done and killed us this season, we've got no outball because you just got no height in the team or physicality up front whatsoever. And the way they played against us in the first half last weekend, you know, it could be a difficult day. That's your outlet, that's your outball. But then saying that, you know, the boy who played the first half won fuck all. Everything was just coming straight back again. So I don't know whether you even.
I think Maeda's energy is aggressive, and you need to be aggressive because clearly on fucking Sunday there was no they were very aggressive. They were on the ball, second balls, fucking third balls. They were on top of everything. Like Maeda's energy is aggressive.
It is, Joe,
aggressive
but it's the
factor.
ball. It's the ball to his feet, though. That's the problem. Then it can go anywhere from there. Do you know what I mean? That's the number 9.
That's the fucking dice throw of fucking having
Yeah.
Maeda in there. I mean,
Because you say to yourself, right, see the team that finished the game on Sunday. See if we start with them and it doesn't work out and they batter us in the first half. What have we got in the second half? You know, it's like it's
aye.
It's like fucking hell. It's like, and they're rubbish, but they fucking were right in our faces in that first half. And I think they had pressed that much and put that much effort into the game that they were dead in their feet in the second half.
Yeah.
Oh, but I was fearful in the first half. I'm sure most of us were going, this is going to be 4 or 5.
Oh, aye. But the thing is, see when you actually look back, how many chances did they have?
Aye, I know.
Very few.
I know, but the fear is in you when you're 2-0 down.
Oh, aye.
The fear is right there in the centre of your soul.
And you look at it. One goal was a world-class goal, right?
Aye, absolute screamer.
The thing is, there's nothing the goalkeeper can do there. Not a thing, right? The second goal is just an absolute calamity for Dane Murray. And albeit it was still a brilliant finish for the forward, he's still with a lot of work to do. But Dane Murray clears his line there, and they're not scoring that.
Different game.
So, aye, but, so let's, I don't know, we want to just go into the Rangers game then?
Go on the touring.
We're already on.
Right, we're on it.
Where then?
Right, want to use Geese your thoughts.
Name.
Well,
No, Marty, you go. Marty, you go first.
No, all I was going to say was like it was the proverbial game of two halves, and like what we've seen, like I know you were saying there about not losing 3 games in a row, but we clearly could see that Martin O'Neill still doesn't know what his best team is because he's chopping and changing nearly every match, and he's chopping and changing at half times, and that was the case. That was the case against Rangers. And when I first saw the team, it was like some people were going, "Oh, that looks pretty good" and stuff like that. But I was kind of going, it doesn't look physical enough. They're big. We don't have Cavan Chara. We don't have, we don't really McGregor, and the people who get on the ball are small. So they were coming out to kind of dominate us and bully us, and they did. They did right from the start. They took control right away, scored early. But they kind of gassed themselves out. By the end of the match, they looked out on their feet, and we looked very fit. While they're physical, they couldn't keep a pace. And the winning goal, or not the winning goal, but the penalty that was converted, I think really proved that because they were nowhere near that ball on the rebound, and we had two players ready to bang it in. You were nearly in a panic in case one or two of them tackled each other and the ball ended up trickling out wide or going over the bar or something like that. But we really did seem to come into our own the longer the game went, And do you remember that was the case last year where we weren't starting games well and then we were just all of a sudden kind of clicking into gear and we were flying, So to get off to that kind of a start and, those mistakes that we were making, individual mistakes like we Murray and players like that, it just hasn't been ideal. We've had injuries and then we've had players who, like your man Adamu, who you just look and go, what the fuck is he doing here? Do you know what I mean? The guy looks lost. We've had players who've been playing well, comparatively well, like Oxlade-Chamberlain, who just looked really not up to scratch, in a match like that, and then wasn't seen at all against Aberdeen. So it's all this chopping and changing and trying to find out the perfect blend. And he, in fairness to O'Neill, he is making good use of his subs. We cannot do without James Forrest. The way he holds the ball, and keeps the ball in this team is just crucial to how we play. Against Rangers, the midfield was just overrun. It really was overrun. I thought Tierney's goal was brilliant. The way it was worked. Negron, we can't leave him out because he has the knack of scoring. And to start without him is like, we just can't. We don't have enough talent around to be ignoring a guy who's going to maybe end up with 25 or 30 goals this season if he keeps going the way he's going. So all of those factors were factored, kind of had an impact somewhere, across the match. And individual mistakes are really annoying, especially when they're punished. And some of that's down to inexperience. Some of it's down just to really a lack of ability. Just we don't have the players. Like Brendan Rodgers was kind of pilloried for it last summer, but it's true. Like the squad is just not good enough. And just what you've outlined there, Jason, a minute ago, as to the changes that we need in the summertime, is going to bear that out. And as Harper reminded me that I said it during the week, it was like with a team full of want-aways, has-beens, loan deals. It's just higgledy-piggledy. So to go to Ibrox and take points off them after the position that they were in, they were fucking raging. And they booed their team at full time. Do you know what I mean? So again, psychologically, it was a draw, but it definitely felt like a win. I listened to the Heart and Hand podcast on Monday. It was fucking great. They just sounded totally dejected. It was your man, fucking David Edgar, and that dude from the DUP who used to work for them, the two Davies, and they were fucking distraught, both of them. So you want them to be keeping that kind of mindset in mind that this is the business end of the season. This is the time Celtic generally come to their own and do well. And Hearts are battling bastards traditionally. So we're hoping that the main game start from here. O'Neill is just brilliant. Do you know what I mean? He's been a godsend for us. If I had fucking left him alone before Christmas time, would have
the league would have won.
It would be wrapped up now, Jason. It really would. Like
With this team of shite that we've got, the league would have won.
I have no doubt in my mind. That's even before you factor in loan deals and people who come in January. Do you know what I mean? So we've been unfortunate this season with players. We've been missing players like Johnson and Carter Vickers, and then we lost Trusty, obviously for the red card. So it's like make do and muster as best we can. Would you want anybody other than Martin O'Neill doing it? Would you like?
At this point in time with the team that we've got, I would want somebody other than Martin O'Neill. I'll be brutally honest with you, in perfect circumstances. But with this team that we've got as a man motivator, there's nobody better, I don't think.
No, that's exactly what I mean. I agree with you completely.
To get the best out of these players,
we all want the permanent management in, but just for the situation that we found ourselves in this season, you couldn't have asked for anybody better. You couldn't ask for a better ambassador. The way not all the results have gone our way, and we've had late winners and scrape things and all, but even the way he's conducted himself with the press, and all of that matters. Every fucking thing matters.
To touch on that as well, Marty, right? See your man Danny Rowe, or is he the loyalist Wigmeister, by the way?
Did you see the pictures of the baldy bastard? Listen,
what he's going him now?
Jason, I have never seen Danny Rowe and Butthead in the same room together at the same time. I don't think Beavis has seen it either. He looks like fucking Butthead. He talks like a Butthead. His interview after the match on Sunday was embarrassing. Do you know what I mean? And I was in the finals on Saturday watching it with my mate Mad Dog, who was over for the weekend. And JJ Bradley's the chair of the fans, and he got up at half time, he did a ballot, and he started roaring at the crowd. And he said, "This isn't over. It isn't over. It's only half time. Keep the faith, keep the faith, keep the faith." And at the end of the match, everybody's fucking just pointing, "Hey, keep the faith." And we're all loving life.
But see, get back to your point, right? See your man Danny Rowe, right? I'll be honest with you. I was kind of, obviously I don't fucking like him, right? But he kind of was non-offensive, right? He was kind of like, and I'm saying to myself, they've got a guy that fucking knows his onions here, and he's measured, he's quite calm, doesn't get ahead of himself, he's fucking taking it in a stride. And I could see them getting progressively better and better as the season went on. And you're like that. And then it comes up to the week before the derby, and he just fucking loses the rag and starts talking about we're second in the league, we're better than them, and starts fucking talking about Martin O'Neill's team playing Stuttgart, like commentating that we didn't try to win the game, and just coming out with fucking nonsense. And you're like, why are you even fucking saying that? And you could tell any Rangers fan that had anything about them must have been like that with their head in their hands saying, what the fuck is he saying? And O'Neill's just zoned in on it. And he's just had a couple of wee quips here and there. They say, well, he's not been in Glasgow a while. He'll realise soon enough, you know. But no saying anything offensive, but just using his fucking cuteness. And basically, it was like a £10 sledgehammer on top of his napper without actually saying much. Do you know what I mean? It was like just saying, you're out your depth here, pal. And you could see it. You can kind of see it with him now that it's starting to fucking unravel because they are going, as you say, they're going off their nut. And a week ago they weren't. A week ago they were ultra confident and they were pretty sure that they were going to go in and win the league. And see now, very few of them, I think, would say that. And I think it's the cuteness of Martin O'Neill that's kind of, and obviously it's all down to team performance. But aye, it's like I've seen a different side of him. That, oh mate, why did mate? I'm not calling him mate, but I'm like, why did you come out and say that stuff? See if you just kept your own counsel and not even fucking reacted to anything for a Celtic side and just spoke about Rangers, he'd be in a far better place than now because you don't come out and do stuff like that, especially when you've got a fucking wily old fox like O'Neill at the other side of the fence. Just madness. Does no think?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
But they're coming in thinking, you know, he's only, is it 10 matches and I think he'd only lost one or something like that. Like he has a good record, and we've been kind of in disarray, and you could just kind of feel that, you know, the first half, the child abuse chants, the veil, the filth that they're screaming and shouting. That fucking creep Alec Ferguson sitting in amongst them all, listening to all that, speak about the way they speak about his mentor, the man he credits for his own career. Do you know what I mean? And he's sitting in the midst of all that filth, and they were lording it over us as they do. And you could just tell the longer the match went on, the more we were turning the screw, and the more they turned on their own team, and that's what they do. And you see, if we win well on Sunday, or if we put up a good performance in the first half on Sunday, they will flee the field. And we'll have the broom loom stand again. It'll be back to normal. You know, normal service will be resumed. So to go back to last week again, the men who and women and kids who were at that match representing me did a brilliant job. I'm so proud of them. We're all killing ourselves laughing at the fucking video of
the guy with the Celtic tracky top on.
Just standing, shrugging his shoulders, you know what I mean? While all around him was a maelstrom, you know. It was just
mental, man. The big guy with the great hoodie was fucking brilliant. He was
the image of the Hawk. He looked like the Hawk. I went, Liam Hawk. I went, thank fuck it's not. It wasn't him.
He was getting off his fucking top piece, wasn't he? Oh,
you know, so it was just
outstanding. I know. So right, I'll go now, right? So where I see it, right? See Negrin, I get what you're saying, Marty, right? And he is invaluable. But see playing him in a midfield three when, and by the way, my first point, Oxley Chamberlain, I think we did a podcast after the Kilmarnock game, right? And I says it's embarrassing that he's the best player in the team now and he's not even fit, right? Well, he's just fucking put that right down my throat. He's fucking miles off it. He is fucking, I wouldn't even be considering playing him. I'd bring him on for 10 minutes or something at the end, you know, when other players are knackered, so that he can get a bit of space. I think that's the only way we can use him now. But we had a midfield three, McGregor, Negrin and Oxley Chamberlain, and they absolutely destroyed us. We had no midfield in that first half, nothing at all. You had Yang and Adamu and Maida, and just Maida's out on the left, and it was just horrendous. I don't think the defence was that bad, apart from Dane Murray's mistake. I think the defence actually did all right. I thought Tierney and Arajo, I thought Scales was no bad. I thought actually Dane Murray wasn't bad either, apart from his fucking calamity. But our midfield, oh my God, it was just non-existent. So, to Joe's point, I would have a Luke McCowan in there because he'll stick the fit in. Negrin won't. Negrin is a wild. He's fucking. What is it? Fucking Mick was calling him the Antichrist. He's now calling him the fucking. He's no calling. He's obviously got over that because he's. Put it this way: if we win the league, he's our player of the season. But what's he calling him now? Is it the fucking? It's not the Ghost or something, but I can't mind. But he's the Phantom. He's calling him the Phantom because he's just fucking a total enigma. And you're saying, could you play him as a centre forward?
No.
But you couldn't, because he remind. Do you know what he reminds? Right, he's the Poundland Larson, right? But he reminds me, and don't laugh at me, right? But it reminds me of Raul of Real Madrid. Because see the amount of goals he scored for midfield, and he always arrived for deep, but he just knew to be in the right place. Negrin's got that Midas touch that he just knows where to be in the right place to get a goal. But it's his stuff that he does. I've been a great fan of his, right, for he came. But I'm even coming round to everybody's way of thinking because I consciously watch him and he's fucking all over the place. He gives the midfield no balance whatsoever. And he won't put a foot in, or if he does, it's just a daft tackle. And if they're coming at you and they're sticking the boot in, he's a disaster to play in that midfield.
I think the thing with him, Jason, is I don't think he is a central midfielder, right? And I think he's a false 9 or a 10 or whatever.
He's like a 10. He's like one of these guys. You let him go out and just say, "Do what you want, mate."
He's a Lugo.
Yeah, more like Chris Commons kind of is reminding me a lot of. Do you know what I mean? Just kind of drifts around the edge of the box, edge of the game, but just scores all the time. But he's not a central midfielder, and I think we're really imbalanced when we play there. I mean, Callum McGregor's getting a lot of stick off a lot of people just now.
But he's doing the job with 3 men.
Yeah, exactly, mate. What I was going to say there. I mean, he's had Hatate next to him all season, who's not tried the leg until the last week. Engels, who splits opinion, but for me, I just don't see what he offers. McCowan, Ferry.
Well, I think we've missed him big time, to be honest with you, mate.
Yeah, but what have we missed? I mean, I kind of agree. Like, I think the balance of the team isn't as good, but his corners maybe, but it's hard to say. Put your finger on what we miss with him not being there.
He keeps his position, and like he keeps it as a solid midfield. Yeah. You've actually got a midfield when he's there, and like Oxlade-Chamberlain should be doing that right, but he's so far off the pace, it's unbelievable. I don't think he can handle the pace of Scottish football. He must now have a total shock to what he's got into. Whereas, scoring in his debut, then playing brilliant down at Kilmarnock, and for then your game at Ibrox, and then he must be shell shocked.
I think he'll still play a big part for us this season.
I think so, but I think he's got to come off the bench, mate.
Yeah, but the problem is that applies to Nectar as well. Yeah, kind of applies to Hatate, but you cannot not start Hatate. I've been his biggest critic this season, but anything of quality that came out of yesterday in the second half of last week, it was all through him.
Everything.
Ignoring the brain fart he had at the end there.
Honest to God, see when that
got away with that.
That's a season. That's a season over.
Yeah.
If that guy's fell, obviously go to VAR or whatever. But all that guy needs to do is get his leg in there to get a touch, and it's fucking cupping. It's a penalty.
It's absolutely mental, mate. Honestly, but you've got to play him. My biggest thing is, I think the only way we can make ourselves effective up top is by playing two strikers together. Is by playing one of the tall strikers and playing Mieda next to them. But the only way to do that is to play 5-3-5-2 or 5-3-2, whatever it is, or I think 4-4-2 would just be too badly exposed. We're bad enough as it is just now, but I do feel that we've got the team to play, the players to play 3-5-2. You know, the boy came in yesterday and was brilliant at centre half. You know, if you had him with Scales and Trusty, Murray, whatever, it's a pretty solid back line. Araujo can play on the right. You know, Tierney's probably injured now, but you know, we've got a good backup
By
there.
the way, a wee bit of news just hot off the press. KT's going to be all right.
Good.
Ew.
They go again.
Brilliant.
But you know, in or out, Sriracha can play there, and Sriracha and Araujo are actually probably better for wing backs than they are for full backs defensively. But then I would have played that sort of team against Rangers last weekend because to try and match up a bit physically as well. But as you said earlier, Jason, they're not brilliant. Do you know what I mean? But I do think they're going to come out and just try and fucking batter us again right from the start on Sunday.
Do you know what, mate? I don't think the game on Sunday will be anything like the game last Sunday.
Right. Interesting.
Because I think we'll try and change it, and I think they'll try and change it. Because I don't think they will go gung-ho again. You know, because they've realised they've ran out of steam. So they'll probably say, right, we need to think about this. We need to...
I don't know, Jason. If you listen to his interview, like he didn't see anything wrong.
Well,
I mean, he was like,
that's good for us.
Absolutely. Oh, I agree completely.
But do you know the thing, right? See fit my formations, right? And this is just me. And I've said to you before, Liam, right? They're all professional football players, and obviously your man Brian McCallaghan come in and shot that down, and I get that, right? But if you play with like a structure, like you mentioned 4-4-2, right? See 4-4-2, you can see three of your midfield. They could be central midfielders, but you could have one of them, like say you're playing Negrin in the right or whatever of the midfield, or you're like. It's probably maybe a 4-3-1-2.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? With Negrin in the middle, that would be my preferred. You know that, but then you need to make sure that your wing backs aren't totally bombing up. But I suppose when your wing backs are bombing up and down the wing, then you've got three central midfielders that you would hope would give protection to your central defenders. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that, but I totally agree with you that we need, I reckon Adamu as well. If it's Adamu or Big Tam, they need Maeda next to them.
Yeah.
Because I actually think Big Tom would have been better. Like we could reflect on last night, obviously, but they are so big physically. Like they could just dominate Maeda so easily. I mean, you saw him. And it wasn't just him, but they were so big that they were just manoeuvring near the road. In fact, just before we got our penalty, one of them had like, it was just to the left hand side of the post as you're looking at the goal, and he had done that. He had kind of maneuvered the ball out for a goal kick or something, and he was flushed with fucking joy that he'd done it. He was puffed his chest out and he pulled his shoulders back and he strutted away. It was that same dickhead that gave away the penalty a couple of minutes later. He wasn't fucking too happy then. But I think that Big Tom would have been actually a good option against that. He may have occupied maybe two defenders, trying to haul him whole lot, and that would have made space for some of our smaller players to get in and about. I think that was a tactical problem that we had.
The problem is with Maeda is one of the top two. If the ball falls to him, he's fucking missing the target, and he's.
I know. Sure, that's what I've always said about him. Do you know what I mean?
You have, mate, and
his tracking down and his closing down is outstanding. There's really nobody like him. You always used to say there's nobody like this guy in football. But when it gets to that decision making, you fucking know what's coming. You're like, for fuck's sake.
Oh, I know.
He makes the easy stuff look hard. That's what I mean.
But you're on about the injuries as well. I seen Martin Neal saying that Callum Osmond and Alistair Johnson are going to looking at the end of March.
Yeah, they did say that. It was after the international break, wasn't it, that they had targeted. So, even getting those bodies back on the training pitch is great. Getting them back and keeping people on their toes and, playing bit parts maybe where you need to shut a game down, or bringing Osmond on when you need to win a game.
Yeah.
That's all good. It really is all good.
But do you think mentality as well? See if they had went in, say we'd went in 0-0 on Sunday, right, at half time, I don't think they'd have fell off a cliff, because I think mentality in football is just mental. How teams go 2 up, and I mean even Aberdeen. See Aberdeen last night. We're 1-0 up, and then you could see their goal coming. Although it was a penalty,
Yeah.
But for the 10-15 minutes before that, they are absolutely battering us, and you just say to yourself, what gets through? Because for the first 5-10 minutes or whatever, we were good. We were peppering the box. Getting into great positions. And then we get the goal, and just how mentality and football players changes drives me off my fucking head. Because that mob, when they were 2-0 up, they were happy to try and just defend that. No go for it. And if that had been 0-0, who knows what would have happened in the second half? Because we wouldn't have really been chasing the game and battering them. And it's unbelievable how mentality of football players just changes.
It's almost
depending on the result.
It's almost like we had to be forced into actually reacting and actually getting our shit together.
Aye,
you have to be provoked into giving a fuck. And it was like,
aye,
you're right though. See, if it had been 0-0, we'd have came out playing as fuck again.
Aye, and it's so frustrating that, I mean, when the second half started last night, I know we're jumping between both games, but the second half started last night, it's 1 each. We need to win the game. Celtic were really good before we get the goal. With loads of chances. We were making great moves, playing some really good football. And it's if, like, when you need to do it, you do it, and just inside you. And I think it's the same as probably any sport. It's just natural reactions that you obviously just want to. You go 2-0 up, and in your head you've won the game, but you just need to make sure you've won it when you've actually not won it at all. When the only way you can really guarantee winning it is getting another one. But it's just you're no one to take that chance. It's crazy how mentality in football works.
Yeah, that's what I think about Sunday, Jason. I don't know. Like you said, you think they won't come out the same way. I think that's the only way they can play. That's their best way of playing. I don't think sitting back is a way of playing for them. Whereas I think we can play a bit like we did in Stuttgart. Can be pretty good counter-attacking if we need to be. So it's really interesting as to how both teams will approach the game.
I don't mean like sitting back, but I just mean being more measured. Because Marty made the point like James Forrest worth his weight in gold. And see bringing Forrest on with 15 minutes to go, that is an amazing weapon that we've got to see a game out if we're winning a game.
He kind of brings new lungs to the whole operation, doesn't he? Like,
I think we need to use him more. Like, he's not that unfit. You know what I mean? He's still fit as fuck. He doesn't have that burst of pace over 10 yards that he used to have. But see, when he gets the ball, he never fucking loses it. He carries the ball on up the pitch, heaves the whole defence in a certain direction, brings our players with him. You know what I mean? And his crosses are still sound, and he's going to weigh in with a couple of goals at some point if he's on the pitch long enough. I just don't think we have the squad where we can ignore somebody like James Forrest. I mean, we fucking need him. We really do. I'm waiting to get a beer. We'll be back in a minute.
Just another funny thing about the game last Sunday, when we got that penalty awarded, I felt sick because I'm like, this is just the perfect way for us to fuck this season up. There's not a player on the pitch I was confident that you would give the ball to take that penalty for us.
See when Raho had the ball, I was like, you know what, you'll do.
Yeah, it probably would have been the best, actually, Joe, thinking about it. When Hatate stepped up, I'm like, oh my God.
I was starting my head, my hands going like,
Yeah.
well, this isn't
So
going to be
was I.
easy.
So was I, man. I felt so sick. I'm like, I'd rather not getting a penalty, but like, this is just a cruel twist of fate that sums up this fucking season here. And then you thought, yeah, he just put it in and he's offside or something, or he's gone into the box. You know, you weren't sure whether Hatate got to it first, but fuck me, man, it was a sort of stress that seems to have summed up the whole season for us so far.
I thought exactly the same, by the way.
The yo-yo of hope went back and forth. It was like, save, back, save, back. I think, oh, fuck me. How much can my heart take? How much can my heart fucking take here?
I don't think Hatate's ever took a convincing penalty that I can recall.
I was astounded it was him. I was like, you know what? I thought it was going to be McGregor. So it did.
He missed his last one, didn't he? I think he missed in the cup final. Was that his last one, McGregor?
There must be a PhD out there somewhere on penalties. Because that's an absolute anomaly.
I've told you. I've said it on here, I don't know how many times. One of the best books I ever read in football was Brilliant Orange. It was about Dutch football. And there was this professor wrote a thesis on penalties because the Dutch historically, they lost the World Cup in 74 to Germany in penalties. And they for years, they never won a penalty shootout. And he's like, how can we have guys as technically as good as the Dutch players not been able to hit penalties? And the guy did a study worldwide on penalties. And the optimum way of hitting a penalty is by practicing them all week, hitting the exact same spot. And then you take 3 or 4 steps back. And then if you're right-footed, you take 2 steps to the left. If you're left-footed, 2 steps to the right. And you have the optimum run-up. And you've practiced it week on week at hitting that exact spot. And you'll maximise your chance of scoring. We don't seem to fucking practice penalties. We just seem to.
This guy's thesis was practice.
Aye, and it's fucking no exactly fucking groundbreaking news, is it?
This is academics making money out of fuck all.
That's how. But you need to practice the right way. I know. See how when folk do the wee dinks and all, that's how I'm always on our chat. Fucking, I'd dock him a month's wages, he'd get sacked. You know, it's criminal because
hit it hard, hit it fast.
You need to maximize the best ever penalty taker, Tommy Gemmell.
Aye.
You know? And by the way, Chris Boyd was saying in the studio yesterday or last night, he says, see when you're no confident, he says, aim for the goalie and just hit it as hard as you can. Because he says you'll probably no hit the goalie, but there's a good chance it's going to go in. You know?
It's fucking mad the margins of like the pressure moments could fucking completely warp.
Because if you're no confident in hitting a penalty, right? Run up and hit it as hard as you can, low and at the goalie. Because you won't hit the goalie. You'll hit it to the left or right.
He wasn't talking about penalties with that.
No, I know he wasn't, but it's still the same thing. You're in front of a goal shooting.
I had a chat with John at the game one day about this, Jason. For me, right, if you hit a penalty in the top half of the goal, anywhere in the top half of the goal, you're going to score 95% of the time.
Apart from it's in the middle.
Yeah. Well, no, even then, because the goalie's 95% of the time, the goalie's dive left or right and dive down the way.
Aye, but I'm saying if the keeper doesn't move, it's just you look like an idiot, right? But I get your point. Aye, if you up high, left or right, if you hit it right, it's never getting saved.
I think just over the heart, you know, top half of the goal, and you're almost certain to score because the goalies always dive in the way.
Yeah.
Aye, but angling a football upwards in a pressure moment in a fucking pitch that's been played
over the bar.
The chances of looking like a cunt are definitely high.
Aye, and
you're talking technique though, Joe, aren't you? I mean, you know.
I'm not talking technique because I don't have any technique. I'm talking about possibility.
See if you're taking a penalty in the World Cup final, right? That's fair enough. See if you're just taking a penalty in a I know Hatate's was a big pressure moment, but technique-wise, in general, like any sportsman, you know, if you practice it all the time, it can't be that hard from 12 yards to put the ball, you know, above halfway up the goal.
But the thing is, Liam,
familiarity. If they've practiced all week, 20 penalties every day in the exact same spot with the exact same run-up, surely they're fucking confident of doing it again.
Yeah, exactly.
But do you not think in those moments that suddenly a wee fucking window in your mind opens up and goes, you might fuck us up? And then your entire being goes, oh, fuck. Right?
That exactly.
And those are like 5-second bursts of self-doubt. You go like, well, I've got to do it regardless. And you hit the ball and it's bumped.
But the thing is, Joe, if you've practiced that 20 penalties every day, you know where you're hitting it, and you know your run up, and you know everything. At the end of the day, you still might miss. There's no guarantee you're going to score, but you're definitely increasing your chances of scoring.
I suppose that's where the discipline of practice comes in. Then I suppose like you go like, well, okay, well, I suppose it's like going for a fucking run or a workout. Like going, I don't want to do this, but if I do it, I can do it right.
I know, Jason, I know you hate this particular thing, but see these guys that can run up and look at the goalie the whole way and then wait for the goalie to make the first move and side foot it the other way. I mean, if I tried that, I'd trip over my feet. Do you know what I mean?
Well, somebody said in the chat is that stick to your process. That's kind of
exactly. But see, the thing is, Liam.
Delarno.
See, if you're a goalkeeper and you know the guy does that, you don't fucking move. Yeah, because he's looking for you moving, and then he gets there and fucking you've no move. He fucking doesn't know what to do.
Because the thing is, he stutter up fucking.
And the thing is, as well, he can't put any pace in that.
You just seem to see a lot of them score that way. There are a lot of the modern kind of players, but I don't know. It's good. I couldn't do that.
I don't understand why the hardest penalty isn't the best penalty.
Well, it's the keeper. It's staying out.
Aye, but it's fucking at the end of the day, if you hit it hard and on target, you've got more chance of scoring than if you don't hit it hard.
Aye. See,
people are frightened. People are frightened of hitting it hard because the harder you hit it, the more chance you have to go in a fucking direction.
Aye, but fucking. Right.
So it's something I've felt passionately about for years, and Celtic have been earnestly shite at it. But for the odd fucking good penalty, Engels is good, to be fair.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, it was Peter Hughes from Dundalk that said that. Peter Hughes, long-term listener and seldom Ways contributor for Premium. Stick to your process.
But it's just
up more having a more, Peter.
Fun dog.
So we've kind of spoke about both games. We've not really looked at it in depth. And then, is there any, Liam, do you want to mention in the Ibrox or ever had? Nah, Tuppensworth, you've not really seen.
I don't know whether we covered it all. I don't think nothing new that's not been said. I mean, I think the team deserve a lot of credit for coming back in the second half and getting that, getting the draw. And it's a result that helps Hearts, doesn't it? Really, more than anything else. They'll be absolutely delighted with that outcome there. We'd have been out of it if we'd have lost. We'd possibly put both of us out of it. But the one thing that was mentioned earlier that I just wanted to touch on was the one big advantage we've got in this title race is we've got players and managers who've done it before and who have got the mentality. You were talking about mentality, Jason, earlier for them. Yeah. Hearts don't have anybody in that mindset, and neither do Rangers at all. And I do think, I know people disagreed with it, but I don't think Hearts can keep winning games 1-0. They've lost a couple and won 3 by 1-0. I think when you're going for the league, you have a bit more swagger about you normally. And I know we've not got it either just now, but
I was going to just say that if we're winning every game, we're a goal.
No, I know, but I do think they will drop a few points. I do think they'll put a few draws in with that sort of form. It doesn't need much, do you know what I mean, for things to go wrong if you're only winning by the odd goal. And I just think that's our advantage.
Liam, with the greatest respect, it's 50-50 between the two is because it's their advantage as well because we're winning games by a goal.
Yeah.
And we don't look as if we're going to put any teams away.
We're trying to overtake a small car on a country road, looking for a good turn. You know what I mean?
The thing is, correct me if I'm wrong, but we're the only team out of that the rotten mob and Hearts that have to play Motherwell twice?
Yeah.
That's a big variable.
That's massive.
That is a big variable.
That is absolutely massive.
Well, it's probably offset by the fact we've got the both of them at home after the split, and we've got 4 of the last 6 games at home. Not offset, but like that's our fixture advantage.
I don't think it's offset at all. I could genuinely see Motherwell beating us twice.
Yeah, so could I. I'm really worried about that game a week Saturday.
Yeah.
And usually we'd have home advantage would normally be enough to get us through, but they fucking battered us last time. I know we beat them, but they battered us in that game.
Yeah. Green Brigade still banned, no atmosphere.
Yeah, they're much better than they were there, wasn't it? Where the goalie passed the ball straight to one of our players for one of the goals. Pretty sure that home game.
But the other thing is too is Motherwell can't really keep this up either all season. They don't have a big squad, and if they get an injury or two or whatever, they're going to find it tough. Stephen Welch has been brilliant for them in defence, but he's not allowed to play against us, so that's a bonus too. You're disrupting their back line from start. So you never know. And we haven't been good, but again, we're trying to bet on all these players who don't fucking know each other. Like, look at that back line last night. Fucking guy was on his way to get a hot dog or something, or a fucking packet of cheesy Watsons at the concession stand, and then all of a sudden he's whipped in for a warm-up. Fuck's sake. Do you know what I mean? And by the way, he looked good. He looked decent. Do you know what I mean? For somebody who barely knows the fucking names of the fellas he's playing with. So there's plenty of mileage in this yet. Fuck's sake, we haven't even had Paddy's Day.
Jason, Hearts have got Motherwell last game before the split at home.
Have they? Well, that's good. That is excellent.
So I think Hearts have played Motherwell twice at home.
Motherwell were 3-0 up on them one game they played this season.
And
Hearts got a 3 each draw. Motherwell have battered them every time they've played them. To be fair, Motherwell have battered every team nearly every time they've played them.
So I think Hearts have been at home twice to Motherwell, Celtic, and Hibs. So that must be their 3 away games in. That's not easy, is it? I've got my maths right. That's not easy.
I think Motherwell could win the fucking league. I'm not kidding.
It would be a wild, dark horse fucking charge if they did. That would be historic.
It would be mental. It just shows you what a top manager can do.
Yeah. If you know where to find them and how to get them. It's a wild season, man. And it's a wild season. Not in the convenient and comfortable sense, but in the fuck me, football's mental and can be mental. I mean, do you think will this do anything for Scottish football in terms of, say, next season, right? Will any of this, do you think, change how Scottish football progresses? Will it change the allure? Will it change anybody's idea of structure?
No, because we've come down to their level.
Yeah.
They haven't come up to our level. There was a thing that I not shared in the other day. There was a graphic with the points total of all Celtic seasons in the past 20 years. I thought I shared it in the art group chat, but we're 20 points down on a fucking season or something. Do you know what I mean? It's like we'd be averaging around 70 points or something at this stage in the season, and we're sitting on 50 odds, 54 or something like that. So no is the answer to that one, Joe. There's not enough. And these squads too, like Hearts and Motherwell, not, as I say, they don't have the squad depth, and they're not playing in Europe. Do you know what I mean? So it's like we're playing additional games that they're not playing. They're getting midweeks off and plenty of time to prepare and rest. This last stretch has been fucking mental for us. Do you know what I mean? And as I say, you'd have been targeting maybe 3 wins out of 4 in this week. Do you know what I mean? So we're sitting on 2 wins. 2 wins and a draw.
I know, but is it unfair to say that our deficiencies have made it interesting rather than the likes of Hearts kind of trying to bring us something different?
For somebody who's from one of the other clubs or something, it's brilliant. You know what I mean? It's great. interesting. And Aberdeen winning the cup last year is in a similar vein. Do you know? But it's not really. It's not a realignment. Do you know what I mean? It's not. It's just not. And the European results of the Scottish teams this year just fucking prove it. You know what I mean? They're shocking. So I don't know. It's great. It's been great for the neutral people who like to chat about football and stuff. It's lots of talking points. It has been batshit mental. Lots of the stuff that's happened to us has been just fucking crazy, completely crazy. A lot of it's self-inflicted. You know what I mean? So it's just.
I think as well, like I said the other day, the amount of games more. I think I got the numbers wrong. I think Hearts might have been in the League Cup early round the league thing, but the amount of games more we've played than Hearts is mad this year. Over double figures, mate.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, that's definitely helped him. But here's the thing, but right, there's five points between us and them. We could lose any game that we play them in.
Aye.
Jig, they could.
They could. None of the teams are good, Jason.
Kilmarnock away would be a bit tough for them. But
No, that won't be. Kilmarnock will through that because of who their management team are.
no,
There's no way. They're not set.
No, they're playing to stay up, mate. They're 3 points ahead of them now. They've got a chance of staying up.
That's the one match I thought that Kilmarnock will get hammered.
Oh, Kilmarnock's in a relegation battle. They get beat 5-1 with Dundee there, right? But Kilmarnock's fucking going to be fine forever. They're only 3 points ahead of them. They could actually be safe rather than being in the playoff. Livingston are kind of down. But Kilmarnock are only, I think, 3 points behind some. So, aye, well, they'll be trying for a month. Don't kid yourself because he used to play with Rangers. He's one and fucking he played with Hearts as well. But that doesn't happen. Professional managers fucking chucking a game because a team they used to play with fucking got a chance to win the league. Come on.
I just had a quick look there. I've got to drop off in a second, but Hearts have got Livingston and Kilmarnock away, 2 teams fighting for their lives. They've got Dundee at home, who are in decent form just now, and then Motherwell at home. And then they've got 3 away games after the split, which
the Motherwell at home game is brilliant for me. I didn't realise that was the case.
Yeah.
See if we beat Motherwell next Sunday. Is it Saturday or Sunday?
Saturday.
Then I'll start believing.
Yeah, I agree.
But I'm just delighted that we've got meaningful games because it's fucking tough, and I've no clue the team that's going to be playing going forward. I've no clue. I reckon Trusty will come back in. There'll be Scales and Trusty, and you'll have KT and Araho or Sarachi come in for KT at half time or whatever, and Donovan can come in for Araho. I don't mind Donovan. So you get that, but your midfield is fucking all over the place. Bernardo looks as if he's gone. Potentially for me, the midfield will probably be Luke McCowan, Hattati and McGregor.
Jason, sorry to interrupt you. I've got to jump off, guys. All right, I'll catch up with you later.
All right, Liam. All the best,
guys.
mate.
See you later, Liam. Take care, buddy.
Be good, Chief.
But our midfield probably, I don't know. Does Luke McCowan? Is he now maybe one of the main 3 that we pick?
There's something about Luke McCowan that makes me feel steady. I don't know.
He's at 110%.
He's a trier, but I mean, he's a poor footballer.
He's not the best, is he?
He looks every inch of £1 million saving, and God bless him, he's a talent. And his heart.
I know. My problem is he'll drive forward 8, 10, 12, 15 yards, and then his ideas will fall apart. I mean, and then he's just fucking surrounded by 3 or 4 players.
He loses the ball.
I mean,
he doesn't. In fairness to him, he doesn't lose the ball as much as Yang.
Oh, see that. What was the point of him? We could have played the 10 men last night.
I
thought the same. The start you.
See when the commentator come on and said James Forrest is going to come on for Tedeschi. I was ready to kick my TV. I said, "What the fuck?"
Fuck
Did
me.
that guy? And they said, "Oh, actually, it's going to be Yang." I was like, "Well, fuck me, that makes more
It's
sense."
like
See,
it's like watching an octopus playing football. There's just there's just limbs everywhere. Just limbs flying around and a ball fucking there about.
to be fair to him, Marty, I noticed in the first half, definitely 2 occasions, maybe 3, that he made a bursting run into the box, waiting for it was either McGregor or McCowan to play him through, and they just fucking went the other way. You know, but see when you actually look at that, see Kyogo used to make 10 of their runs and maybe get the end of one. But I could see after him make a couple, he kind of just says, "What's the fucking point?" He stood out in the right. You know, mind Kyogo used to make their runs all day. You know, they would only get put through once or twice, but he would constantly make their runs. But he was kind of doing it in a half-hearted fashion, if you know what I mean. I'd need to watch it back again, but it won't be in the highlights because probably nothing fucking happened at the end of it. But he did make a couple of runs, but whoever was in control of the ball in the midfield just fucking turned around and played it to the left or whatever. Do you know another thing that pisses me off? See McGregor, he's guilty of quite a lot, and quite a few of the others. See the amount of time the ball gets played back, right? See when it's at the left side of either defender or midfielder. See when they can quite easily put the ball to the right midfielder or the right defender. They always pass it to the central defender or the central midfielder for them to pass it to the right midfielder or right defender. And it's an easy ball that it's not going to get intercepted. But it always takes too much time. And they're probably trained to do that because it's minimising the chance of losing the ball. But surely, if you want to make things quick, you just switch the play.
But do you know what frustrates me? Just sometimes is I feel sometimes like there was times last night when Sinisano was hanging on the ball, and it takes for McGregor to come into the back like, with pace to demand the ball to then bring it back into the midfield. Whereas 2-3 years ago, the play would follow McGregor. The ball would go to where he was trying to bring the play, whereas he's going to have to go and get the ball to bring it into the midfield. And I find that really weird because other than that, you're watching defenders play football.
So you bring on a good point there, Joe. See, Sinisalo, right, let's discuss him. Because I'm more than happy with him in for Casper Schmeichel.
I'd save last night. Clinches it.
That was out. But his distribution's fucking awful. See the amount of time he gave the ball away last night, and see like the amount of times we were under pressure. You know, because Aberdeen were pressing us, and he kept playing it out to the left, and it was coming back to him, and there was a couple of times. He went long, maybe about 10 times. And that's not the kind of done thing in the modern day.
No, it wasn't good either because it kept flying back at us. You know
Exactly.
what I mean? It put us under pressure.
Aye.
This is the point. Like we don't have the hate in the team to play that type of football. Our team has been designed to be the horseshoe team, short passing. Aberdeen played 2 up front. I actually think their tactics last night was very good. They're playing 3-5-2, and that would give me a worry. Do you know what I mean? Because that
Aberdeen's a team of shite if it's a decent team playing against us. You know?
Exactly. They were well organised and they pressed as well. They were trying to put Scales. I actually thought Scales had a decent game, but they were trying to put him off. You could tell they were trying to force an error out of him. The other big lad, Big Ben, he looked okay. I had to say, this is a guy who has had no football since he's got here, or very little football since he's got here. So it's good to see he's in. You know, and I'd be tempted to keep him in for Sunday, even though Trusty's fit again, because he's capable of fucking throwing one in as well. So you're like, you know what I mean? These are all hard decisions. But I thought Aberdeen, as I say, were well organised against us, tried their best. You know, they got their penalty. Absolute fucking idiocy again by Liam Scales. No need to do that. All you need to do is stand behind him. Guy was facing away from goal. Barring a miracle, he was never getting a goal. He didn't even really have options to lay off at that point either. It was just silly. You know, and again, going back to what you were saying earlier on about the penalties, how can these fucking teams cracking penalties against us left, right, and centre, and yet we struggle so fucking badly with penalties?
Aye, we're terrible at it.
It's fucking hard to fathom. And you're looking at that last night going, that's the way every Celtic penalty should be the way Nisbet had it. That's all you need.
I know. See, what about KT, right? Not really discussed him. I think he's been brilliant the last
He's
few
been a
months.
fucking absolute talisman for us, Jason. And see, I saw that injury, or the stamp last night on his foot, and I was going, that looks fucking terrible. I saw it in real time, and then like when you saw it slow down, in slow motion, you were just like, fucking hell. So fingers
And
crossed he's not out for any length of time, because we do fucking need him.
And the modern day boot as well doesn't really protect your feet, doesn't it? No. See, like the old style boots, see if you'd stood on one of them, it might have been all right, but they're maybe fuck all.
There's no cushion on the top of the foot, like.
Nah. But see, I think he had 5 or 6 shots at goal last night. Obviously, gets the first goal, which was a fucking brilliant move. But it was a dodgy corner, but Scales done great to get the ball back into him, and then what a fucking goal it was from his point of view, you know, fucking left back, being in there. What's that fucking Big Tam doing? Do you know what I mean?
I was texting a boy last night, Big Pierce, and he was texting me going like, "Somebody shoot!" I said, "That's what Kieran Terry's trying to do. He's the fan of the pitch, going fucking somebody."
Exactly. And by the way, he knows that he's got a fucking good shot on him. You know, so he's like, fuck it. Because the amount of times McGregor, the amount of times McCowan, the amount of times Hatate shooting, fucking hell. Don't start me on that. Marty, I know you're his biggest fan, and I'm a big fanboy of Hatate, right? And I think his overall play, his quality when he's on his game, but his shooting is fucking atrocious. Everything goes over the bar. Everything.
No, it's hard to fathom, like.
It's fucking
it really is.
Professional football players, but KT just bull with the horns. Just as soon as he gets the ball and he gets a chance, he's there. But we don't shoot enough.
No.
For the edge of the box, we do not shoot enough.
No. And Tanetki's been great. You know what I mean? He's busy and always wanting to make.
I know, but he's also the victim. He's a victim of getting too close and too cluttered in the box. He comes into the box, and everybody comes into the box. And it becomes too cluttered, and it becomes a peachy fucking ticky-tacky, move the ball, and it goes to fuck. I mean,
the amount of times it does. And obviously there's a fucking multitude of defenders in his way, but fucking just swing a leg and have a goal.
Aye.
It could drop at somebody, but the thing is, if you get Sfincharo in there, it could drop to him and he'll fucking be facing the wrong way or fucking fall on the ball.
Revolutions are built on hope. I mean.
Aye, but we need to start shooting there as well. But it's just, at the end of the day, I'm just delighted we're in a position that we've got a chance.
I know, but again, I am white knuckling it every fucking game.
Oh, totally. I mean, can you believe that we're playing Motherwell at Celtic Park next Saturday, and it's going to be unbelievable?
It's a huge fucking. Oh. Do you know what? I
would say going into the game, I would say 55% Motherwell, 45% us to win the game. That's mental.
Do you know what? My honest belief is that the way that the odds kind of waver is so flexible. I couldn't pin a prediction on anything. I couldn't tell you which football team's going to turn up on the Celtic side. All I know is that, like, between minute 5 and minute 75, you might see 3 different teams.
And like, you know, we all complained about the changing of the formation under Nancy and stuff like that. And Martin O'Neill, in fairness to him, has kept it pretty steady. But you can see, like, when you go back to when you were talking about Negrin, Jason, you can actually see where just a couple of wee fucking tweaks could really make us more effective. Like, they're not asking to change their back 3 or any shit like that, you know what I mean? But just maybe diamond shapes in the middle, or maybe even 2 up front, as you were saying earlier on with Maid and Big Tom, you know, running on the balls, holding balls up, that sort of stuff. Like, you could actually see where we all of a sudden become very effective. You know, so
Aye.
it's might not
I
take
mean,
much.
let's face it, we've got fucking professional football players out there that can all play the game, right? I've got no doubt if Jens Bertalascu was our manager for the start of the season, we'd be fucking robbing this league.
Aye, but if you're gonna have wheels, should be a fucking motor car, motherfucker.
Right, exactly. But, so the thing is, they are capable of doing it. They're just no. But every week we've got a totally different lineup. So the guy that's standing next to you is not the guy that's standing next to you the week before. So you're not entirely sure how he's going to be playing.
And that's where the synergy falls apart when it comes to football.
Yeah.
In fairness, too, though, right? You're right. You're 100% right. But also, too, when O'Neill was here first time around, he was very stubborn. Do you know what I mean? He was just a stubborn, like he played players like Petrov and Mialbi to death, like literally hurt them because he just refused to drop them when they needed dropped or refused to rotate the squad. But he's been very decisive this time around, like half-time subs and things like that, things that have actually worked. You know, it's different if you do
Aye.
it. It's different if you do it and it's a balls up. You know what I mean? It's like a fucking, but they've worked. So now maybe Sean Maloney is part, you know, responsible maybe for that, pulling them aside, saying, "Listen, here's what we need," blah blah blah. But whatever it is, it's good to fucking see.
I think Martin O'Neill's a clever guy, right? And I think he realises the world's moved on for his style of playing football. Plus, he had 8 or 9 guys that he would trust with his life playing for him the first time around. Now he's got fucking one, you know. So it's like, but I think a lot of it's maybe come to following him and Sean Maloney. I just had a wee check there on Bet365 for the odds for the title. I haven't looked at it for a few days. How do you think the odds are for the title? I found one of them quite wild. Who do you think's favourites?
Hearts must be favourites. They're
Has
5
to,
points.
has to be.
Yeah, 11 to 10. So there's still odds against. So the bookies still think they won't win the league, although they've got them favourites. They're giving more
They're
than
hedging.
aye. Second favourites, us, right, 2 to 1. The Huns, 100 to 30. What price do you think Motherwell are to win the league?
I'd guess 5-2.
14 to 1.
What?
Aye, 14 to 1.
Those odds are they're not past taking.
I know, but if you back the other 14 to 1, you're losing your money. Because they're not winning no fucking league.
They've got 3 teams to jump, right? So the chances are they won't win it, right? But
Well, they're a bit longer than I thought they'd be.
aye, same with me. Because when you look at the league table, what's the actual points? Because they've got a game in hand. They play this weekend now. It's a Scottish
Yeah,
Cup.
they go above Rangers if they win. They put Rangers in the fourth, do they not? I think so. Hold on, let me check the league. I'm sure that was the case. Just fucking talk among yourselves there. Wait a buy the buttons here. Hold on a minute. Table. Right, so
Motherwell 53 and Rangers on 57. So Motherwell's got a game in hand. They go joint in points.
sorry.
But
That's no. They'll be a point behind. They'll be a point behind the Huns. 57, and if they win, they'll be on 56. Motherwell will be on 56. So it's tight. Do you know what I mean? It is so tight. It's a surprise. It's rare that this ever happens. Like we are usually streaked ahead, but even like it's a mark of the season. The Hearts are in the lead, but they haven't streaked ahead either. They had a lot of dodgy results as well around Christmas time. So what you're hoping for, just as you were saying earlier on, is that they don't have the mentality to see out the season where we do. This is business end. Like, and then people say, "Oh, we're running out of games." Well, we're not running out of games yet. It's only fucking start of March. This runs right into May, so there's loads of games to go. There's loads of. Only Martin O'Neill keeps saying it. There'll be twists and turns yet, so there will.
here's the thing, right? It's our lack of draws that's kept us in this league. Because I'll ask you a wee question here, right? How many games do you think Hearts have lost this season?
Hearts have lost 3.
4, right?
I'm going to say 5, but 4.
How many games do you think Rangers have lost this season?
6.
Rangers have only lost 2, haven't they?
2.
2?
Yeah.
2
Yeah.
games. How many games do you think Celtic have lost this season?
Must have
Surely
lost
we've
5
lost
or
5 or
6.
6. I would say.
7.
Fuck.
And how many games do you think Motherwell have lost this season?
Don't know. I haven't a clue.
3.
Fuck.
The margins are so thin.
3 games they've lost this season. 3 games.
That's crackers.
Fucking nuts, isn't it? And it just goes to show you we've drew hardly any. We've won or lost.
We won or lost. A couple of draws, like, you know what I mean? If Nancy, under Nancy, even if a couple of fucking matches had been draws,
I know.
would have been sitting pretty. It's fucking mad. It's nuts when you think about it. Like, and like the whole shit going on with the board and all that, like, is just sucked the fucking whole momentum out. Do you know what I mean? It's like imagine if Wilson turns around this week and says, right, we're letting the Green Brigade back in for Motherwell.
Oh. You know, it's unbelievable.
All bets will be off.
Yeah. But can we see it happen?
No, because they're a bunch of fucking scumbags.
I know.
So we are.
The old Scott, I think, was meant to make a wee guest appearance, but obviously he's.
I'm assuming the meeting has been on.
I only realised today that the ban has been in place since October.
I know, and you think about it, like, that's what, I don't know how many people that's affected, maybe 100, 150 or whatever it is, 200, I don't know.
I think.
If I was a paying customer.
Exactly. Then people pay their fucking money in. And that's the problem. It's the problem every year. Once Celtic have their money, your money, they don't give 2 fiddlers fucks. When they don't have your money, they'll tell you everything you want to hear. The world's fucking bright, blah, blah, blah. But once you pay them, fuck you.
I mean, it's a very bizarre emotional ride at the minute. Following, I suppose, the hanging on of the fingernails of the league, the trepidation and the discourse among the fans, and everything that goes on among it. And my only thought overall is, like, could it not be simpler? Can we not be?
Could be.
Look,
can it be that it is all this complicated?
No, we're ideologically opposed to each other. We do not. The board do not reflect us. Now, some people may say, "Well, the board reflect me." That's not a problem. That's good. Good for you.
When did compromise become a weakness?
But they don't reflect me. And what we have is
reflect the HomeBhoys.
No, they do not. And
nobody reflects the HomeBhoys. Fuck's sake, if you do, you're fucking me.
We fucking barely reflect ourselves. Like, let's face it.
We got a bar in the house.
You know what I mean? Look, you wouldn't be looking to us for fucking leadership, but the point stands. You know what I mean? Like, they don't. They're not of me or anybody about me. Lord Livingstone, if he fucking dropped dead tomorrow, like, if John Reid dropped dead tomorrow, do you know what I mean? These people are nothing to do with me. I wouldn't be in their company if you fucking paid me to be in their company. I wouldn't sit at the same table as them. I despise everything that they stand for, that they represent. I despise everything that they have done in the world. Look at the fucking state of the world at the minute. I can't get a fucking fill of oil for my house because of men like them who run our club. Men like them. And yet they look down on us and take our money and treat us like fucking dogs. And we go all around Scotland, or our fans go all around Scotland. I don't do it anymore. I used to do it. All around Scotland, getting fucking harassed, searched at turnstiles, herded in like cattle, have horses run through us. And nobody gives a fuck. The people who run our club don't care. In fact, they employ the people who do this to our fans. They give them fucking jobs. What sort of a Alice in fucking Wonderland through the looking glass bullshit is that?
Well, it's a kind of representation of the world, isn't it?
Exactly. But we're supposed to be different, and we've always been. Oh, we're Celtic, and we're this, and we're that. But when you look back at our history, the people who have run our club have always been bastards from day one until today.
So we've been eternally afflicted by the tone that the club approaches us as fans with. Eternally. I mean, dependent on how much dough you have or how much influence you have or who you may be, the average punter has been afflicted by the tone with which Celtic Football Club approaches them with. I mean, if you want a ticket, you want to get in the stadium, these are the parameters of decorum. And I'm not saying health and safety isn't part of that. What I'm saying is, compromise and reason exist within conflict, and they're always there. They're always options. But it's up to everybody to engage in these things.
Yep.
And I just find Celtic to be a bit of a carpet bomber when it comes to like moral compass.
But now they've had proper conflict, and what have they done? They've just actually shut their ears and shut their eyes and just fucking pulled the curtains down and just says, leave us alone.
Do you know what annoys me the most? That they cover shit with fucking cloth. Just leave it bare. We know it's there. I mean, fucking try to fucking color wash the decision with some fucking bit of fabric.
It's to stop people trying to stand on it. That's why they fucking don't. In case people just go there and fill it. They've reeled it off.
By the way, you're talking about the rank. Talking about the rank and file fans, right? Talking about normal fans. Magoo is just fucking puts it up in the chat there. He's a fucking zoomer, by the way, right?
What?
Wait, see this. So John Paul Taylor's put a post on Twitter about where we need to park, right? So the venue's been in a supporters bus to Ibrox before, in the old Ibrox.
Have we been though? I wouldn't fucking myself up with it.
So see when we used to get the full Broomland, right? We used to always park. There was streets up Helen Street, a good bit away from Broomland Road, maybe a 10-minute walk. There were just streets down there, and there were just all Celtic buses parked there. And you'd walk by the wee Rangers Club to get to the Grun. They'd all be in, but you would have some of them walk across the road and that, you'd down to their end and whatever. Nothing really happened. But they've told us now we've got to park in Broomland Road, the big long street. So we've got to approach it from Govan Road. So it's come in from Govan basically. So it's all changed. So loads of folk are asking questions about where do we park here? So this guy, Jackson Foley's asked, hi JP, where will I be able to park my motorcycle? So the Goose replies straight away, I asked this last week for my motorcycle, ended up just chaining it to Ibrox gates and was fine. Managed to get away pretty sharp as well. So the guy's replied back to him, perfect mate, thanks. So my Goose posted a photo. There's my bike, the fucking bike. With a tricolour draped through and chained to the Ibrox gates.
Here, what he should have said.
As much as McGee's a meddler, his fucking patter is fucking outstanding.
What he should have said was, we're doing this Italian style, lads. The bike's coming in and we're going to fuck it off the top tier.
Off the top tier. Inter Milan, Atalanta again, wasn't it? Oh my goodness.
Right, wrap this up the fuck.
What the fuck? Sorry, I'm just putting on some.
Wrap it up the fuck.
What about the old Toffee's Irish range for some Paddy's Day? Did you see that?
Well, it's not just them. They're all out at the concert.
Is it limited edition because it's a belter and I haven't got the money to buy it yet?
Just say them. Listen. See.
I'm for the Chinese guy.
Just say to him, listen. We really, really appreciate all the strips and all that. Listen, it's not a problem. Paddy's Day and all that. Just give us the 6 counties back and fuck off.
I may have to send a photograph of that, tap my man in China and say, listen, can you do this?
Hurry up.
It's limited edition, but there's a delivery landing at the Higgins household tomorrow. I can assure you, we get more at Higgins on Sunday.
Yeah, well, listen, give us a wee text on that one.
Boy just replied there, chain it up to fuck.
Cheering up the fuck. Here.
Do it
That
off
was
the top tier, that fuck.
We've done 2 hours. Fucking remember back in the day we used to do 5.5 hours of this shit.
We've lasted
Really?
longer than Spurs. Fucking hell.
Joe, tell the listeners, right? When Ange went to Spurs, you've got a mate, Matt, nice big
Aye.
fella. Came with us to Fifth Park.
The big yid.
Came with us to Fifth Park. Lovely fella, likes the Celtic. So he invited you into a Spurs group chat, didn't he?
I didn't invite me in. I was once.
Joe made
Ange-
his own way in.
Aye, more or less. Aye. So once Ange jumped ship, I said, mate, you're gonna love this guy. It's gonna be amazing. And he said, oh, Joe, we're all in. Next thing I was in the chat, I was like, fucking King Dick a cow shit farm, fucking giving it loads.
First season, unbelievable. Joe the Messiah.
Fucking here's fucking Tenny. Nothing but green hearts and fucking shamrocks. I was getting sent, right? And turned sour pretty quick.
But here, the thing is, if they had left Ange where he fucking was, they wouldn't be in the position they're in now. Bad knowledge it was.
You know what? If I was back in the chat, I would be speaking that truth.
Well, so here, listen to this, right? Wolves are at the bottom of the league. They've got 16 points. Burnley have 19, so the two of them are down, right? They're gone. Then you've got West Ham, Forest, and Spurs, 28, 28, 29. So only a point between 3 teams at 16, 17, 18, and then Leeds have 31, right? So, but Spurs are in fucking free fall. And here it is.
Forest got a draw at City.
So,
last night, and West Ham have got a couple of results. So,
but will you hear this, right? So Spurs have to play Liverpool, Villa, and Chelsea, and then they have to play Leeds and fucking Forest, who are with them. So that's going to be a fucking bloodbath. The bottom of that, but that last place in the Premier, the third last place in the Premiership, is the English Premiership, is going to be brilliant to watch.
So Spurs would go from
talented.
Europa League win to relegation in one year.
And here, that is the most Spurs thing imaginable.
Isn't it?
No, I mean, they're just a fucking bunch of bastards. You're mad fucking scumbag that owns them. I'd love to see them go down. They deserve to go down, and it's one of them ones. The clubs have gone down, and it's been the best thing that's happened to them. I think that's actually what they need. They need to go down, clear the decks, start again. You know, they're a fucking clown shop. Really are.
Look at the fucking Toffees.
Yeah, eighth in the league.
Telling you, fucking
Davy Moy, Blue Army.
I think we could catch Villa. 8 points. But if Everton could play well, they played well against Burnley, but that new stadium's been a fucking it's been a ball and chain. But
do you not think though, like that kind of progress this season speaks to maybe 2 seasons down the road for Everton?
Put it this way, they played we think we've got no strikers. They've got fucking no strikers.
It's hard to find. It's hard. It's difficult to find a decent striker. It's fucking impossible.
That Beto and Barry. I get told they signed Beto for Udinese for about 30 million. My mate was telling us. And he says the only reason they signed them was Udinese were willing to take installments. So they couldn't get in.
We got him on Klarna.
Basically. So they don't even have a striker.
Fucking paying free.
But I tell you, see that Njai boy they signed, played to Marseille, played with Sheffield United. Big Pat texts me, says he's the best player I've ever seen at Sheffield United. What a fucking player that boy is. And see that, here's where, see that Russell Martin, that was the Rangers manager. I listened to an interview he said, who's the best player that you've ever managed? And he says, Kieran Dewsbury Hall, who's with Southampton. He says he's got Everton. By the way, that kid is a fucking superstar. See, Everton's midfield, they're not even missing Jack Grealish.
That's mad.
Dwight Neal's come in to do a job, but see that
earlier in the season they were a fucking one-man team, and now they're not missing. Smart.
No, really. When Dewsbury Hall and Jai were on their game, see the 3 of them in the midfield, outstanding. But I tell you, they've got the bones. They've got that keeper, that Pickford's. mean, I know he's a maniac, right? But he pulls off some saves. He does make a fucking calamity. I'm on an Everton group chat, and half of them hate him, and half of them fucking love him. Do you know, it's fucking, there's no middle ground. But I tell you, they've got the makings of a decent team here. And I'm no Davy Moyes' biggest fan, but you can't take away from what he's done for them. You know, for what they were when he took over. The last season they looked like relegation, and then when he took over, unbelievable. And then this season, see if they could just fucking convert the home form into a bit of the away form. I think the away form were second half of the league to Arsenal. Full season. When you think about Liverpool spent about 8 billion quid, and Everton spent about 42 pence. You know, it's quite incredible.
Well, I have a feeling that 5 years from now, the Toffees will be contenders, top contenders.
They should be, mate. They should be.
Do.
Yeah, they should be.
Folks, we've done 2 hours, and it's flown by. I've enjoyed that. Anything you want to say, lads?
No, get the fuck off here. The fuck they go and get a cup of tea.
Wrap it up the fuck.
Wrap it
By
up,
the
baby.
way, just to let you know, I got a wee coupon up there. Right? London's not
Yeah,
even sure.
yeah,
London's
go.
a fiver on it, right? See this. I took Palace to beat Spurs. I took Lens to beat Lyon away in the French Cup. They drew 2 each, but I cashed out 10 minutes before the end of the game, right? I took Bodo Glimt to win away to Mulder, and I took Basel to beat Grasshoppers. It was 90 odd quid for a fiver, cashed out 75 quid. There we go. Not a bad wee night.
Nothing but winners and sinners on this podcast, I tell you. Okay, here. That's a way to end. Money in the pocket. Good vibes in the soul.
Right.
So listen, we may do a podcast every once a month these days, but it's always good.
I've not even spoken about it again on Sunday, but who cares? Let it take care of itself.
listen,
And by the way,
take care of yourself.
see, to be honest with you, who really cares? As long as we get the free Broomland, I mean, simply the best gets chanted at the start. The full Broomland Road given it fucking wow.
Actually, I wanted to bring it up earlier on. Like, is it possible to steal a football club song?
Well, we sung it the last time when we did the full Broomland, and I'm sure we'll sing it again. And as soon as that team runs out, if they bring them out to it, they'll be raging. We will get
I was sitting in my office the other day, right? So in the office I'm in, the building I'm in, like there's loads of different different offices, and they're occupied by different people, and there's different levels, right? And I was sitting there working the other day, and fucking I was like, is that simply the best? Somebody who's playing about fucking 3-4 offices away. I was like, that's a mad coincidence, right? But do you know what? Part of me loves the fact that we're just going to reclaim it and go, fuck it. Tina Turner wants the song back. Wants it back.
Reclaim it? What are you talking about, Joe? We never claimed it.
I know, but we'll take it from them.
We'll just take it out.
All right. It's ours now. Anyway, we're done. Go hell.
Can then go bless gentlemen.
We're here to take your songs.
You've got 5 minutes to get out.
Yeah, folks.
And you're been.
Good luck. See you next month.